Hello again. Hello again. Episode 2 of science fiction questionabilities and, strange phenomena ponderings and theoretical nonsenseness to waste time, pass us by. And today's topic, funny enough, is about time, actually, yeah. And okay, we're all aware of time as it happens. How it happens, I'm not really sure. It's sort of it's just there, really, isn't it? When did it begin? I don't know. But that's not what we're on about today. We're leading on from the skunk thing and the overmind, this concept of overmind. And settle in, because this one could take however long. I haven't planned much for this. I know I've thought about it before. Just putting it up, sitting there. Yeah, tapping the yeah, writing stuff down and throwing it away, and just wasting time, killing away. But also about how I've been taking stuff down and been sort of freaked out about how things happen, because this is the point. This is the point. Yeah, is it's like a question of like the lineality, if that's the word, the linearness of maybe there's time inside of time. And we've got time, which, hours, seconds, minutes and stuff, which we break down just this straight, curve or whatever. But, I'm thinking maybe there's other segments to this sort of thing, like where you see like horoscopes or Chinese calendar or even like the Mayan calendar of all these things or whatever. Always tends to be like, from my ignorant point of view anyway, this is just, it seems to be like, is like a wheel, isn't it? And then there's like smaller sections, bigger sections, bigger sections, bigger sections. So it's making me think like there's maybe things that pass us by which are like in the background, So let's take something like fashion, for instance, right? There could be an idea which comes up which not many people sort of like catch on to properly, and maybe here and there some people pick up on it and it never really takes off, and it's sort of just like a bit of a back burner, you know. But then there's something else which like everyone really hops on really quick and it like burns like super fast and it comes and goes. Um, I don't know, would you say they're both just linear at different rates or something? I don't know. But I don't know, we've got like seasons. We've got seasons and all these sorts of things, and I'm really unprepared for this. What am I trying to say here? So, time, okay? So, if everyone's having these ideas, right? Because this is the question here, right? It's not just about um, the ideas that we're having and how much people like them. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise, it would just be completely scattered. What my question is do they happen like on time? Do you know what I mean? Are people thinking the same thoughts at the same time, at the same points? And is it just because we see something that comes new and then it becomes stale, and then there's sort of like waves of it, like the first wave, and there's sort of like the medium or whatever, this main section, the mead or whatever, the mode, or the mammogram is like boobs and stuff, isn't it? And then there's like the after, and then it becomes like retro, and it's every 10 years or something like that, you know? Or maybe there is some sort of curve to it, and I call it like the cusp, like the cusp of like the cutting edge, as they say, isn't it? The cutting edge of like fashion and all these sorts of things. Because I don't know whether or not it's a phenomenon. It's definitely a thing, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to forecast things and stuff like that. So I've always been interested in this idea, and I don't really think it's really fresh in my mind right now, but I'd like to sort of try and record like a psychological calendar, maybe, or see if there is any sort of pattern to it. Because, funnily enough, there is a reason why there's 12 of things, and there is a reason why the the days, because obviously I say us because it goes around the sun and all those sorts of things, but there's reasons why everything's split up into the amounts that it is. Because you might think, why isn't the clock like cut into 10 or whatever? Why is it 12 and all these sorts of things? And I have my own theories of that, and all, you know, whether they're right or not is another thing. But yeah, I think there's something interesting to it, and I think maybe if we could record this sort of like curve, because it does happen like all the time, it's not scattered, and I think that's interesting enough in itself. But maybe there is some sort of like balance to it and structure. But yeah, um, hmm. So how like and where you would put yourself as well, and where you'd want to be, you know, because if like I don't know, I think there's like a lot of untappedness in life these days, and you know, maybe you want to be more fashionable, or maybe you don't want to be more fashionable. And if there was a calendar or a little clock of the cusp of life or whatever, um, you could put yourself where you want to be a bit better, you know. Because I'm not one of these people. A lot of people like to sort of like shut people away, and you know that when they get something, they want it to be exclusive, no matter how blown out of the water it is and how saturated it is at that point. They want it to be the no, you know, they want it to be themselves. Even if they don't understand it, you know, they want to be possessive and all this sorts of thing, exclusive, which doesn't help the industry. You're not selling any tickets by doing that. You ain't making anyone any favors by doing that, you know. Um, and obviously for me, like this, we're getting a bit sidetracked here, but for me, I feel like if you're that sort of person, I feel like you can't deal with, you don't know how to deal with things properly. And that's fair enough. Not everyone does. Because who wants to take on the world? Not everyone wants to take on the world. But I feel like when you're elitist, it just means that you don't really know how to handle a situation, honestly. Because there's, you know, but whatever. What am I saying? Yeah, expressive, the possessive nature. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Motions, going through the movements of life and all that sort of rubbish, and recording this stuff down and seeing if there's any relevance to it. And I don't know, it's an interesting point enough, isn't it? What I'm saying is, because I don't really work on time as it is, I don't know what time it is, but I'm pretty aware of trends and stuff. And I've got a lot of back catalogue of, of styles which come in and out of fashion and pass me by, which I never really am prepared for. And then they happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's another thing which I'll never be able to be interested in. But it's interesting enough because, you know, whether it's a catwalk or something, um, whether or not they leave out the intrinsic element, or because they were so limited for ideas, they sort of expand on them. Do you know what I mean? And sort of like spread them across a bunch of things. It's nice to be able to watch a film or read anything or look at a fashion show or a song or something and see well, songs don't really do it themselves, and see the sort of the intrinsic element or the hidden feature or the key or the idea. And go, oh yeah, I know what's going on now. I know this one. I've got that one, and it's great. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll be facilitated. And then I'll really ask myself is, do you give away the secret? Would that make things more authentic, or would that ruin the game for everyone? I don't know. So you can give us your opinion on that if you want. And your interest in time as well, and what it means to you. And you know, because it's like what is it? What do they call it? Like where, you know, where you like prepare yourself and stuff. You say, oh yeah, like you make like a schedule or something, like whatever. I don't know. I'll come back to it at some point. But you're like, oh yeah, I do the washing up this time, and the washing here, and I'll go shopping there, and you fit everything into your day and stuff, and you work out how long things take. Imagine if you could do that for your like psyche, you know, um, and like defrag your mind sort of thing, instead of just trying to do everything as it comes to you in the moment. Like, oh, I've just remembered I've got to do this thing. If you could plan everything, you could schedule like I don't know, things. You could be like minted. Things could happen on their own, and you know, it's worth something, isn't it? So yeah, I don't think time's linear at all. I mean, it happens in a forward motion, doesn't it? It happens like forward. But I don't know, even ideas reinforce themselves, don't they? I guess. You have a thought and you'll come back to the past thought, and I'm sure you'll have that same thought again. And there is this sort of scattered pattern to time. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. It's a question, isn't it? I really don't know anymore. Something like that. So yeah, do you think there is a phenomena of people who have the same ideas and it all happens at the same time, or do you think, is there a load of skunks which are running people's brain circuits, or are we all just really we want to be on top of it? Do you know what I mean? Or do we appreciate things at different rates? And the fresh is just more paramount. What's the word? What's it? Predominant, maybe something like that. I think it's predominant. Might be something else. Prevalent. Uh, hmm. Prominent. What was the first one? Was it prominent? I've forgotten. Right, yeah, well, that's just that's probably why my time doesn't work, because I've got mine like a goldfish, and then I go prominent, where have I heard that? Oh, prominent, that's a great idea. So yeah, my brain's defragged to high heaven. Anyway, um, yeah, that's it really. I think. Is there a curve of reality? Definitely. Is there fashionable fashion? Sure. Do things come and go? Why not? Could I be a forecaster? Potentially. Potentially. I don't know. I didn't really like the way that came out. Yes. Yes. Why not? Why not? You want to be a pretentious arsehole? You do it, Squibs. But yeah. I don't know. So let's make this horrible horoscope wheelie game, and we can all bet on the future or something. Get a bunch of horrible skunks together, and we can all argue and about no, we can't all bet on the same thing. Yeah, and be wrong. Anyway, who knows? Interesting, isn't it? I personally think so. So if you like the sound of that, and you're bored of the sound of ticking away 1, 2, 3, and you really want to add some colour to your life, and you really want to your brain, don't swear. Then yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll yeah, good time, man. Waste of anything. Right. Yeah. Right. Anyway, yeah. To the future and the past, and recurrences and cutting edge. See you later.